It's your boy Ricky back with another video. Today I decided to come out on my back deck and enjoy the cool weather we have here. And I just wanted to talk about really quick PCSing to Germany. Some people in their career will do a tour in Germany. Whether you choose to do it or whether you just come up on orders to Germany, you are going to end up in Europe in some capacity. But if you're a PCS in there and if you're going to be stationed there, there's just some things that's good to know before you get there. First thing I'm going to talk about is household goods. Okay, so they're going to pack up your house as with any other PCS. If you PCS in CONUS, they're going to come and pack up your house. It's going to take anywhere from 4 to 6. It might be a little quicker if it's in the States. But when you're going to Germany, just know and prepare for 4 to 6 weeks before your HHG gets there. It's going to be about 4 to 6 weeks, so you need to prepare for that. Be patient, make sure you pack well, and also make sure that you have the necessities that you need with you as well. We found out really quickly that we felt like we were actually overpacking, but we didn't overpack because everything that we packed actually ended up being great because we needed all that stuff because we ended up being in the hotel a little bit longer than we wanted to be. And if we would have just packed enough for a short amount of time, we would have been in trouble. So good thing we packed the way we did. It was a lot of bags, but it came in handy. The second thing is stay in contact with your sponsor. So when you go overseas, you get a sponsor. That's someone who's already over there, who's already established, who knows the area well. Sometimes that's the case. Stay in contact, especially if you're going to Germany and you're going overseas. Stay in contact with your sponsor. Make sure that he books your dates for your hotel. Whether it be especially if you have a family. In my case, I had a family. I had a wife and 2 kids that were going with me. So I was bugging the heck out of him. I was emailing him. I was calling him when I could and making sure that everything was everything. I sent him my orders as soon as I got them to make sure he can get us hotels. All that stuff is very important to make sure that you're staying in contact with that sponsor. It's very important to stay in contact with your sponsor. And luckily, I had a good sponsor who took very, very good care of us when we got there. That's not always the case. So basically, what's going to happen is the day that you ship, the day that you fly out, most people are going to fly out of BWI. That's Baltimore Washington International Airport. Most people are going to fly out of there. Okay, so you're going to go there way ahead of time. Our situation was a little bit different because en route, we went on leave. I took like a month of leave before I went to Germany. So I went home and I got my tickets changed through Sato to leave from where I'm from, which is in Florida. So we flew out of Florida into Baltimore, Washington to catch our connecting flight on to Germany. So most people, like I said, you're going to leave from BWI to get to Germany. No matter where you're coming from, you'll fly to BWI and go on to Germany from there. Expect about a 9 to 10 hour flight. It's a very long flight. So if you have small kids, whatever you need to keep them occupied or whatever you need to keep them as comfortable as possible, make sure you pack those things and make sure you have those things readily available for the kids because it's going to be a long and grueling trip. It was long for me and I'm an adult, so I can imagine what a child will go through to sit on a plane that long. You get several meals while you're on the plane. The food on the plane, I mean, it's airplane food, so you can't expect a whole lot out of it, but it gets the job done until you get to where you're going. So it's a 9-hour flight. Once you get there, yourself and your spouse and your family, if you're by yourself, if you're by yourself or you're with the family, doesn't matter. What's going to happen is you're going to separate from your spouse, or you're going to go into a room and you're going to fill out a bunch of paperwork. So about 20 to 30 minutes, you're going to be in this room and they're going to take your family to another location, probably down where the bags are, to grab bags. But you'll be in there and you'll be filling out paperwork. As you know, when you're in the Army, when you go to somewhere new, it's paperwork. It's for a school, for anything, it's a bunch of paperwork. So you got to fill out a bunch of paperwork. Okay, so once you fill that paperwork out, you meet back up with your family, you grab your bags, and they take you to this other holding area where you sit down and you wait until you're called. They call you by your last 4. So you wait till you're called by your last 4. Once you're called, then what they do is they tell you exactly where you're going, because sometimes it could change. I know for some individuals, they got there, they thought they were going here, and then their orders change at the airport. Okay, so now you're going here. That happened in some cases. For me, it didn't happen, but for some people it did. So depending on where you're going, luckily for me, I was stationed at that time right on Ramstein. So basically we just had to wait on my sponsor to come and pick us up and take us to our hotel. But others are waiting if you're stationed in Wiesbaden, or if you're stationed in Grafenwehr, or anywhere else around Baumholder, any of those places, or anywhere else around there. You will be waiting. They'll call you, and then you'll go to a bus. And everybody that's going to those stations, they'll go to the various buses, and then they'll head out to those stations. Now, it can be anywhere from 1 to 4 hour drive to your station, depending on where you're going. Again, like I said, for me, I was stationed on Ramstein, so I didn't have to go far. My hotel was literally about 5 minutes away from the airport, from the airbase. So we went and we got checked in. Be prepared. You're gonna go to a hotel, okay? You're gonna stay in a hotel. For a family, we got 30 days. We got 30 days in the hotel, but I think it ran over 30 days for us. I think we were in there for like 35, 37, almost 6 weeks, like along there, like a little over a month we were in there. But prepare to be there 4 to 6 weeks. You're gonna be in a hotel for a minute, because you got to in process, and then you got to get to your in process and brief, and then they talk to you about this, and then they got to give you this paper to go to housing. For me, which was right where we ended up living, but you got to go to the housing office and get all that stuff squared away, whether it be, you live on base or you decide to live on the German economy. But my strong suggestion to you is, what we did was, since we knew we were going to be there so long, what we ended up doing was we ended up buying groceries, and it helps you a lot, because the hotel that they give families, you have a full kitchen and everything, so it's good to go. So my wife was able to cook meals and things like that, and that saved us a lot of money on going out to eat and doing things of that nature. So buy groceries. I'm telling you, it saves a lot of money, and then you'll be thankful when you get that voucher at the end. Trust me. Another thing that you need to make sure that you have, and I'm going to stress this because we didn't have it when we got there. Number one, cell phones. Cell phones these days are very important, and you're going to want to have one. You're going to want to be able to reach back to your family and be like, hey, we made it safe. Or you're going to want to be able to contact your family or whoever, significant other, or whoever you have back home, somebody you want to contact. You're going to want to be able to do that. So one of the things I suggest you doing, whatever contract you have or whatever carrier, you go to that carrier and you take your orders, and they have to unlock your phone. They will unlock your phone. That way, when you get to Germany, you can get a plan using that phone, because you're going to have to get a plan in Germany, period. There's no way around it. You're going to have to get a plan in Germany. So the best thing to do is get your phone unlocked. At the time, we had AT&T. We went to AT&T, showed our orders, we got our phones unlocked, and when we got over there, we ended up just getting a phone plan. If you don't do that, you're going to have to get a phone over there, and you're talking about 800-900 euro. That's how much it was at the time, especially if you want an iPhone or something like that. If you want the latest phones, it's going to cost you, and you're going to pay. So the best thing to do is take the smartphone you already have, get it unlocked, and go over there and just get a plan. That's the best thing to do, is to get a plan. There'll be several different places you can go. You don't have to go to TKS. There's Vodafone, so many different ones over there that you can go to and get a pretty decent plan while you're over there. And then another thing you're going to have to consider getting is the cell phone accessories, the European cell phone accessories. Hold on, I think I got some right here. So this thing right here is a lifesaver. You plug your phone into it, the USB, and it goes into the 220, which is what 220 volt, which is what Europeans use. So this is what you're going to want to get. You're going to want to have these for your phone so you can charge your phone, because we didn't have these and our phones died, and we had to wait a whole day to go and get some. But it's good to already have them packed, ready to roll, so you can plug in and go. Also, these are in handy too for when you get some of your appliances. That switches it over. Some of your appliances here, you can, plug it in here, and you got the converter. Not all, but some. You have to look on your appliances and look at the information on the appliance and make sure that it can go 110 or 220, and then you can put that in this thing. I'm gonna put a link in the description for these, because these things are very handy to have beforehand. You just arrive and you already got them. So I'll put a link in the description to where you can get these. As well as for us guys, we still have to shave. I don't know, a lot of people use battery power. I use battery power, but when I got there, Again, I didn't have these. I also put a link in the description for European Andy shaver, which you can purchase prior to going there and already have it and just plug it in and go. I suggest that as well. So I have that link in the description as well. So I talked about housing. So on base versus German economy. It depends on, it's your preference. It depends on what you want. For us, we wanted things to be simple. We had 2 kids. The schools were on base. Everything was simple. We wanted it to be simple. So we went with on base housing, so that was our choice. But if you want a little bit more of the culture and you kind of want to know what's going on, and you kind of want to feel like you're living in Germany, then I suggest you move on to the economy. Find your apartment or house on the economy and live there. On base, of course, you don't worry about anything. You just live there. But on economy, you have things like oil bill, oil for your heaters and stuff like that. You may have a gas bill, things like that. So it's a little bit more expensive, I would say, to live on the economy. But if you want that feel like you living in Germany type feel, I would say live on the economy. When we look back on it, we it was good and bad. We had friends that lived on the economy and we went to their houses. I liked it, but when you look at it, a lot of them before we left ended up moving on post because they just said it was just too much living on the economy and all this kind of stuff. So a lot of them ended up moving on post. So on post is just easy, especially when you're in a foreign land and just somewhere where, you can just kind of feel a little bit more relaxed going to a whole different country. So that's what we ended up doing. So once you get there, you get settled, your family will be back at the hotel, and then probably within a few days. For me, I got there around almost Christmas time. So when we got there on December the 10th. It was cold. It was actually like 2 or 3 degrees when we got there. It was really, really cold. So when we got there, they were already in the mode of getting ready to go on vacation and Christmas vacation and things like that. So a lot of in processing didn't get done. And then I got there doing a terrible scandal at that unit where a service member murdered another service member in the unit. But I digress. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But I got there doing all that time, so I didn't get a lot of in processing done until the new year, until January. We got there December 2013. So around January 2014, I started in processing. So we went to this base called Kleber Concern. Most people will go there. If not, they'll have another place further out, wherever you're going to be. But I went there, and it's almost like a one-stop shop. If you've ever been to Bragg, they have the Soldier Support Center. It's kind of like that. So they have everything in one building. You go there and you in process. That's where you get your housing brief, and you get your brief about, hey, living in Germany and all their rules and, blah, blah, blah. And just a whole bunch of briefs you get, while you're in there. And that's where you learn everything about the housing. That's where you fill out for your voucher and all that your travel voucher and all that kind of stuff. You will get compensated for your travel time. You will get compensated. You will get BAS for yourself and your wife and your kids. So, or however many dependents you got, you will get BAS for them. And it racks up by the day. So however long you're in that hotel room, you're getting BAS every day for that. So just keep that in mind. Because when I got my first check, I was like, wait a minute, they made a mistake. And I immediately went to finance, because you know how the military is. If they make a mistake, they take their money back all in once. But if you make a mistake, or if they make a mistake, they take forever to pay it back. So, it's one of those things. So I had to and I called, it's like, no, you getting everything you're supposed to get. And then it all broke down because I was getting BAS for those whole 36 days we were in there. We were getting BAS. That's why I said grocery shopping is the way, because you don't spend up all that BAS and you just pocket a lot of that. And it's pretty good. What you might want to do as well and consider, if you already have one car being shipped and you're a family, if you have one car being shipped and you have a family, you want to consider buying a German car on the economy. And the reason why I say that is because if you have a family, you cannot survive with one car, because you're going to be going to work, and then, she's going to be, maybe it's just her, or maybe it's her and some kids. They're going to just be back there not being able to do anything until you get home. And when you first get there, all that in processing and stuff, that stuff takes time, and you're just gone a long time. And being in a new country and things like that, it can be stressful. So you want that person to be able to have a vehicle to get out and learn their way around, be able to get out and go to the commissary and find out where things are. You know, you want that person to be able to do that. So buying a German car I really, really recommend it. I did it when I got there. I kind of got lucky. I found a service member who bought one. His car got there earlier than what he expected it to get there, and he had this German car, and he sold it to me. It didn't even have, I think it had 70 something thousand miles in it, but it's in kilometers over there. But you know, when you equate it to miles, it had like 70 something thousand, and it was a 95 Mercedes, and that car lasted me the whole time I was pretty much there. So it was a great car. So I recommend doing that and trying to find somebody who's leaving and getting rid of, because there's a lot of people who will be leaving Germany and they are trying to get rid of their German car. So that'll be a good time for you to pick up that car and have that during your time over there. Trust me, you'll get some of your money back that you spend on it. So kind of be looking at that, kind of be saving to be able to purchase that, because that's going to be very good for you to have that German car. Or you might just not want to even deal with your car coming at all. We have 2 cars. We shipped one of our cars, and I left one of my cars back in the States. So it just depends on what you want. But I would definitely suggest having a German car for the service member to get back and forth to work and do what he needs to do, or for you to get back and forth, however y'all work it out. I would suggest that you do that. So make sure that you have money available to do that as well. They're going to give you VAT forms. VAT forms is just basically giving you the tax breaks, because if you don't have VAT forms, you'll be paying German taxes, and it's very, very high. It's high when you pay on the German economy. So you have to purchase them, and they'll give you the information in the in-processing brief about the VAT forms and how they work and blah, blah, blah. You'll also get an ESSO card. This is your gas card. This is how you'll get gas, and you'll use this card. Because in Germany, their gas is double the price of our gas. So if you don't have this ESSO card, you're going to pay double the price. We did one time when we were on the economy. We were coming back from somewhere, and we had to stop at a German gas station. And I think I paid something like $6 or $7 a gallon. It was something crazy. But I didn't have my ESSO card. You know what I mean? So, but I was able to claim that, save my receipt and claim that and get that money back. But make sure that you really pay attention when they're talking about the ESSO card, because that's going to be a big thing. You're also going to have to get car insurance. You're not going to be able to take the car insurance you have currently and transfer it over to Germany. You're going to have to get car insurance there in Germany. And they have a variety of places, and people will come into those in-processing briefs, and they'll talk about it. Different companies will come in, so you'll know where to get insurance from. It's a little on the expensive side, but it's something you can't avoid, and you have to have it. So just get kind of used to that and kind of get your mind set around that. Also, make sure you study for the European driver's test. So it's a European driver's test that you have to take. Make sure it's an orange book, and I don't have it on me. I got it in the house somewhere. But ask your sponsor to send that ahead, so you guys can start studying for that and be ready for that and get your license as soon as possible, because you cannot drive over there without having a European license. And you can also get it from AAA. You can go to AAA and get your European license. You don't even have to wait till you get there and take the test. You can go to AAA and get your European license and already have it in hand when you get over there. So I kind of suggest that. If I would have known that, I would have did that instead of, because I failed that test a couple times, because you got to know all the German street signs and all that crap. And it's not as, it seems easy at first, but it's not as easy as you think. So try to see if you can get that ahead of time, I would say. Yeah, so that's basically it. It's Germany is a nice place. I would say make sure you get around and experience it. My first year there, I think I was kind of in a box a little bit, because I didn't want to. I was just in a new place, and I just felt comfortable being at home and not exploring. But my wife, she explored. If it wasn't for her, I probably would have known a lot of the stuff I knew about Germany, because she went around. She went places. If I wanted to sit home, she left me right there, and she went out and explored and took me to places and things of that nature, and did things as well. So take advantage of all the Euro trips that they have there. And also, a part of your in-processing is you're going to do a USO tour. Do the USO tour. It's pretty cool, and it's going to give you a good tour it gave us a good tour of downtown Kaiserslautern, and we walked around and things of that nature, and it was pretty cool. We walked around. seen different things. We ate, different dishes and things like that on the German economy. And then we went to, we ate this steak, man, that was so good, that the way the Germans make it, and they put some type of butter on it. And it was good. Just put it like that. It was good. So make sure you do the USO tour. It's a part of your in processing. So make sure you do that. But if this is your first time to this channel, guys, please hit the subscribe button. If you want to know when I put up new videos, go ahead and click the bell. I appreciate you for watching. Please like this video, and I'll see you on the next one, guys.